similar.
You were muted. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Go again.
welcome. We're so happy to see you. You know, you guys might not realize this. We think about you all the time. We think about those of you who are not subscribed, who are just watching. We love you. And we think about those of you who are subscribed. Really love you because like we know you're on our radar, like in a committed way. And we would love to hear more about you. We're not in this for just subs, and we're not in this for like awards. And we're really in this because we feel like we were born for this. And we believe that community is the way. You know, we just had the most amazing call for our group. And I just want to, before I talk about that, today we're going to talk about some really fun stuff. We're going to talk about what's happening with the Arizona bill that we participated in getting passed to ban ultra-processed foods from school lunches. We're going to talk about Lizzo. We always seem to be talking about Lizzo. What else are we talking about, Penelope? Come on.
Baby formula. And Mom and I were at the Senate last week in Arizona, and we helped get the bill passed to ban ultra-processed foods from school lunches.
Yes.
Now, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Penelope. I used to be 320 pounds, and at age 15, I was 320 pounds. And I was addicted to processed food since I was 6. So let's get into Lizzo first, though. Let's hear what's going on with Lizzo. I was pretty shocked to see this next clip.
Well, hold on. Before we dive in, I just want to say we're going to be here for about a half an hour. Give or take.
And at the end, we're answering questions. So if you have questions about health, loose skin, weight loss, comment them down below, and we will answer them at the end of the video.
About anything, even if you disagree with us, we would really love to hear from you. We care about you. We want to know you. So please comment down below. We're going to dive in. Buckle up.
For all you bitches who are mad that I lost weight, I gained 5 pounds, I did it for you. I did it for you. And I also did it because I don't give a fuck. I'm happy. I do what I want. I am still a
Do you believe her?
That she gained 5 pounds and is happy. I don't think anyone who gains weight is really happy.
No. She's talking about the general context of like the conversation. She's like, stop. She's probably tired of getting hustled and hassled about her weight.
Look, I think we have to hassle people about their weight until they do something different. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right?
Yeah, I totally agree, but I think that she's doing really well. I mean, I wouldn't notice if Lizzo gained or lost 5 pounds, honestly, but I do see she's lost a substantial amount of weight, and she's looking healthy.
You know, what I think about most is, like, why are we talking about gaining weight online as if it's a positive thing? We know obesity is a really big problem in America. We know millions of people are obese. How many million? Do you know exactly the number?
I mean, it's like 60% of America. Well, no, it's actually like 40%, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
And 1 in 5 kids.
It's too many. And what I thought was interesting was that she was saying that, is she saying present or past? That she was dipping her pizza in her butter chicken. And so what I want to say is that, like, that doesn't sound healthy. Now, hold on. Just because something healthy doesn't make you happy doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out in what she was saying. Like, she's super sassy and she's really fun to listen to. And you're all like, oh my gosh, what is she saying? But you know, like, honestly, like what do you have to say about that, Penelope? Dipping pizza in butter chicken. Like, to me, that sounds like a tummy ache. For somebody else, that might be a heart attack waiting to happen. For somebody else, it could be what's locking you into the food addiction. So like, what do you have to say about that? Is that happiness? Is that true happiness?
Being addicted to food is not true happiness. I will agree with you on that. I also feel like being like celebrating obesity in that way and being like, haha, for all the people that told me it was bad to like lose weight, I gained weight. Like if you're almost doing it for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of sounded like she was doing it for the people, because like when Adele lost weight, for example, people shamed her, but she didn't put weight back on because of that. Right? Like, when I lost weight, people shamed me. I didn't put weight back on, because of that. And so I guess what I'm saying is, like, there's a big push in the media to stay fat and ugly and sick and depressed and on statins and on meds and on processed food and, take Ozempic because then you just stay on processed food. And all I want to say is no. Like, please try your best to get off of that, because once you do, there's, like, this new world you live in. Like, once I got off of processed foods and I started eating whole foods and making my favorite junk food at home, my life changed forever.
Well, I think that, I'd like to say past tense.
Yeah.
Your life did change forever. Yes. But I mean past tense in the terms of media.
Yeah.
I am waiting for the day where we're glorifying health and making it fun and affordable and delicious and abundant. I'm waiting for the day where we learn through media about how to make healthy food taste great. I'm seeing headlines in the news and the health in the news now more than I've ever seen. And I'm like, people are calling me up and like, Helene, you've been saying this for 25 years. I'm like, I know, right? It's like, yes. So I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to show you guys this next thing. It's so cool. Guys, guess what people are calling mom? Mom is now the Maha Mom. And I think this is so cool. So today an article came out. I was looking at the news for RFK, right, for this live stream. And guess what? This article pops up that mom is actually in. She's in the New York Times today. Me too, but that's crazy. You're a Maha Mom now. You called yourself Maha Mom. And I actually remember we were at the Senate. She was on the phone with New York Times, NSBC, and a few other people. And I'm like, what is my mom doing on the phone with these people? Like, what's going on? I didn't know this was going on.
It's actually a very interesting article. It's not necessarily pro or con Kennedy. Maybe it's a little bit against.
You can read it for yourself, guys. It's on the New York Times.
It's a lot. I mean, Cheryl's really a gifted writer.
So when you spoke to Cheryl on the phone, what did she say to you? Like, what did she seem like she was on your side? Give me the rundown.
Oh, I don't know if I can out Cheryl and like what she's all about.
Well, what was the
she's
call like?
She's an author, and she's a speaker, and she was actually really just interested in what I see for nutrition and what I see for this Kennedy Maha movement as a whole. And one of the biggest things that I was talking to her about was about the solution to reverse chronic disease, and especially to optimize children's health. And what I saw the solutions were, and I feel like school lunches are one of them, but also nutrition education is another. And I love the question she asked me. She said, Helene, in a perfect world, what would your school lunch program look like? And I said, well, actually, Cheryl, it would be to have gardens at schools, and that the kids tend to the garden in science class.
Why wasn't that included in the article?
And then they bring the vegetables to the plate because it's too forward thinking. It's too visionary. It's not like there's liability issues. Like, we're not ready for that. Right now, we're just like, it's just on our radar that ultra-processed foods are dangerous. They cause addiction. They alter your gut microbiome. They're causing part of the mental health crisis that we're experiencing. They're causing obesity. They're causing diabetes. They're causing heart disease. They're causing a number of problems. This is undeniable. It's causing cancer, okay? So the article was really about what we did in Arizona, and what we were doing. And so it's also about the Maha movement. And if there's anything I've represented, it is the pillars of the Maha movement.
So this is what they said. Helene Leeds, who with her daughter founded Step It Up, a weight loss program, also testified and was identified as a Maha Mom by the Maha Alliance, a group that backs Mr. Kennedy's agenda. The moniker gave her pause. What is the moniker gave her pause?
The one who's been recently named.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a great word. I had to look it up.
It's new for me to be called that, she said.
Because Maha's new, yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I stand for health in everything that I do, she added. I also look at myself as a Maha leader.
Well, that, I don't know is true because, what makes you...
Did she quote you? Because it looks like she quoted you.
Well, yeah, but that has yet to be seen. But I'm up for it. I'm definitely up for it.
All right, you heard it first. She's up for it, guys.
I'm up for it because I believe that you moms out there, you need to take a stand. And I told Cheryl this. I said, you need to take a stand, moms. Listen up. You need to be the one in your community to say, stop serving that junk food at the birthday parties. Stop serving that junk food at the play dates, because that's where Penelope got hooked in. Yes, it's my fault. Yes, it's her fault. We made choices, but it's also at the schools. And if you're not taking a stand for getting those vending machines out, if you're not taking a stand for after-school activities, if you're not taking a stand, your kid is going to have that influence. She was a healthy kid. And then those foods, how do your kids know what to choose? You have to educate your children, people. You have to tell them to choose the right thing. Now, I educated you. She chose the wrong thing. And most of my friends who are also healthy moms, children are rebelling against them and choosing the other thing because it's tastier, because maybe it's, I don't know, why? Why did you choose the other thing?
I chose the other thing because it was tastier, Mom. You're right. I did choose the other foods because
and
it was
I was on
tastier.
MasterChef. So, if anyone can make healthy food taste great, it's me, but it still didn't taste as good because guess what? Those foods are engineered to shift your brain into the bliss point, and that is addiction in your physiology, your neurology, and your biology, and that's real.
Okay, so the article in the New York Times that we were in, if you will,
yeah,
was Amira says, your channel is so valuable, hardly anyone is talking about weight loss while prioritizing loose skin prevention. I'm so happy I found you. More people need to know about this. Please never stop. Thank you, Amira. That means so much.
Means so much. And by the way, walking, if you only walk, you might get some loose skin, but you have to do some resistance training as well. That's really important for the elasticity of your skin. On our previous live stream, we were having some sound issues. You would ask that question. I wanted to be sure to answer it. We're going to answer more questions at the end, so please keep commenting. We love to get to know you better, and we appreciate, even if you don't agree with us, we really appreciate getting to know you and your values.
So something else I wanted to tap into, Mom, was like this RFK is talking about baby formula, and this article talked about Fruit Loops. So what's the correlation between Fruit Loops and baby
Well,
formula?
Fruit Loops has these food dyes in it, and West Virginia actually just passed a law. I just saw the headline. The Food Babe just posted about it, and it's happening. Like food dye is coming out of school, and Fruit Loops, as you can see, are very colorful. And in Europe, where you were born, Fruit Loops are used. The dye to use to dye Fruit Loops is like blueberries, right? Here we use like FDC for the colors and the
Things you can't pronounce, don't know what it means, and it sounds like a math equation.
well, and they're petroleum based. So you're putting like crude oil in your kids' foods, which is like coating their arteries and causing premature, diabetes, heart disease, and all the things. So it's really, really unhealthy. So one of the things that Kennedy's been able to push through, and it's like, it's so obvious. It's like, this is what they're serving in Europe. This is what you're serving in the States. Look at the ingredients. It's like, it's so obvious. So Fruit Loops and other things like that, like let's get the dyes out. And so some of the arguments from the reporters I was talking to is like, well, it's expensive and Americans won't like it. It's like, I don't care. Like, it's expensive to be
They're not
unhealthy.
complaining in Europe.
Well, it's expensive to be unhealthy. Like, look, you show me somebody who's had a heart attack who's not like, this sucks. I never want to have another one, right? I mean,
Right, that's true.
It's the real deal. So
We were talking earlier on the podcast, but people don't do something until the very end.
usually when they have like some kind of crisis, and so the
So what
baby
are they
formula is a
putting-
different topic altogether. Do you want to get to baby formula or
What are
not?
they putting in the baby formula?
Well, they're putting in hydrogenated oils.
Okay.
Yeah, not all. And they're all different. But hey, let's just face it. Like, we were designed to be born and then to have breast milk.
So I was just watching an influencer. I'm not going to name her out because I'm not going to call her out like that because I actually really like her as an influencer. But she is going to have her first baby. And she was like, I'm not breastfeeding. And I'm like, why are you not
Well,
breastfeeding?
if you work, it's really hard to breastfeed.
She doesn't work. She's an influencer, stay-at-home mom.
Well, if she
just
has
doesn't-
implants, it's also not a good
She
idea.
doesn't have implants. She just doesn't want to go through that pain.
It's intense to breastfeed, and it's very time consuming.
But-
it's very natural, and it's the best
So
form
she's-
to rehabilitate
So
your
she's
baby.
in the baby formula area, and she's like, what do I do? Kendamil, or do I do...
There's no
other
replacement for breast
ones.
milk. None. Because you're
But
gonna
the
get the gut microbiome, and you're gonna get the immunity. So if you don't have your baby's gut microbiome intact, and you don't have their immunity intact, which they're getting exactly what they need, the perfect formula in your breast milk. Okay, so this is so important. So but you can't. Maybe you can't. Maybe there's something wrong with your ducts or
And what do they do?
you have to maybe hire somebody.
Wow. So I've heard people buying. I'm glad I didn't finish that sentence.
Yeah, breast milk from a healthy mom. So if you can get breast milk from a healthy mom, that's really great. But like, how do you really know if she's healthy? Like, what if she's shooting up heroin between visits? It's like, who knows? I mean, that's a very extreme example. But so really, I would say there's probably no formula at this time that I would trust. But moms who have to work or whose breast milk decreases for whatever reason, or who maybe they're taking chemo, they can't breastfeed. There are circumstances where you need to rely on breast milk, and the problem is they've had some major problems with this formula, outbreaks of bacterial infections, and there is a correlation. I don't know if it's legitimate, where you have like this increase in infant baby death syndrome and formula fed babies. Yeah,
What?
like it's not good. Like, it's not natural, Penelope. It's a processed food,
Right.
and it's not actual breast milk that's freeze dried. It's a fabricated formula.
So why aren't they taking breast milk from healthy moms and freeze drying it for people?
Maybe it's really expensive. I don't know. Or maybe there's a health.
But isn't it worth it for like the lives of these future human beings who are going to shape our country for the next 90 years?
I don't know, but I did see somebody who was just raising money for a healthier breast milk formula, which is great. I mean, I actually couldn't support breast milk when I was born.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm so
so I
grateful
drank-
that you tried with me. How long was I able to be on breast milk?
A little over 9 months.
Oh, so I'm like a pretty healthy person because of it.
Hopefully. I mean that was
As long
the
as you
plan.
weren't smoking pot, doing cocaine or heroin or shooting
that.
up or something crazy, You never know. You never know. No, I'm just kidding. You're like the healthiest person. Okay.
Oh, wait. We got to lead into this, Penelope. It's true. I am proud, Penelope.
Hmm.
Comment down below about what you thought about Penelope's testimony. That was the testimony that Penelope gave in front of the Arizona Health Senate. And it was a really exciting time to be able to share our story. And it even connected some dots for us. And part of me thinks, and Penelope, I'm curious what you think about this. Like, there's this one side that says, okay, government should not interfere. But on the other side, until and unless government interferes and there's a national campaign for educating differently, for motivating moms differently, we're in a crisis.
I think the government started to interfere when they started to poison our children and commit child abuse at school willingly and secretly almost. Because it's not like us kids know, oh, our schools are poisoning us. And it's not like it's obvious, right? Because it's a food-shaped object, and we're children. We just think, hey, this is a
Yeah.
food-shaped object. And so we don't really know as children. So I think that they do have control, and I think that that's not okay. The fact that we let them have that much control in a way that we didn't even know they had that control. Does that make sense?
No, yes, and no. But I mean, we know that children consume 70% of their calories from ultra processed foods.
Right.
That statement is massive. You and I were in the minority in that I was providing school lunch for you. I was packing your lunch every day. You choosing the ultra processed food is what's the interesting twist in the story. And if you're a mom out there and you have an obese child or you have a child with a behavioral problem and your kids are on a diet of Doritos, goldfish, pizza, pasta, ice cream, cakes, candies, pastries, chances are their diet is very closely linked with their problem. But the problem is also the doctor is not going to tell you. And you probably haven't had much education on what to make for your kids that they're going to like just as much, if not more.
So we're gonna get into your clip and
Okay.
talk about some of those things.
Okay,
After.
but yeah. So I just I want to acknowledge you for like what you did. Took a lot of courage to stand up in front of the Health Senate to do that. We did succeed, which was exciting.
Amira said, Penelope delivered your speech perfectly. Both of you speak with no hesitation, which is such a value skill. I struggle with this. Amira,
Aw.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I was being coached by someone I love very much before I went on, and I broke a little bit because I was like, oh no, like I'm going to mess up. I got really scared. I got nervous. I get stage fright. Actually, Amira, what you don't know is I was also shaking like uncontrollably, but you can't really tell. But like I had like a little shake going on the whole time I was up there. And I think you can hear it in my voice just a tad bit, but the energy in the room was so warm and hot, and I like was shaking afterwards. I came off and I almost started crying because I just felt so emotional about what I just did. Also, you guys, mom actually went on before me, and so she set the stage, which also made me more emotional. So I was just like feeling all the emotions, and nobody knew who the daughter was
Right.
until I went on, and then everyone was like, and they were just, it was like crazy. It was like a movie. So anyway, this is what this was mom's clip. She did amazing. So let's watch mom's clip at the Senate in Arizona.
we are at the Senate with the group, Alex Clark.
Mom, that was so powerful. What you just
Gracie.
said was so powerful. We were
Thank
there with
you.
Alex Clark and Grace, and Callie Means was there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
incredible.
we have a video coming out this week about it, where me and Mom talk about it more in depth, but it was amazing.
This really is a call to action. And what I noticed, Penelope, about a lot of the people who come to us in our program and also who are interested in taking our program, or just people we know, those of you who are struggling with the idea of not eating ultra processed food because you're afraid you're going to miss it, you're feeling like mourn, like you're like something's dying, like someone's taking something really special and cherished away from you. I know a lot of people like that. And then what's interesting is that I also know a lot of people on the other side of that who made the decision to stop eating those foods. And those people on the other side of it will never go back because what happens is you forget how much energy and vitality you have. You forget the freedom that health provides to you. You forget what it's like to be pain free, to wake up in the morning with energy. You forget what it's like to have less food noise, if that's even a thing. That's, I know, it's trending. But I'm just saying that, you think that I'm not like a radical food neurotic, but you think that the Pringles, the Doritos, or the Ritz crackers, all that food isn't doing anything. I grew up on that stuff. I ate that stuff as a kid, and I was also an overweight kid, and one of the original plus size models.
And a lot of kids, like, remember when you were telling me that, I told one of the kids, hey, that's going to kill you. And they were like, because they didn't realize, like, the kids don't know. The kids literally don't
That was
know that the
actually really
food's going to kill
funny.
them. And so this kid's mom calls up my mom, and she's like, hey, your daughter said that this food was going to kill
My
my
son.
son, and now he doesn't want candy anymore. But I'm kind of happy about it, but I don't know how to feel about it. And you were just like,
I just
laughing.
laughed. But the thing is, she was partially shocked, partially pleased because you put that kid in line. But you were the very same kid that just a few years later would be completely addicted
I know.
to the same foods.
I know.
And so what I'm trying to say to you is that yes, we got this bill passed, but what's more important are the decisions that you're making in your kitchen. What's more important are the snacks that you're choosing to eat. What's more important is you starting to eat more whole foods, fruits and
And
vegetables.
where you put your dollar, right? Because if you stop buying Goldfish, if you stop buying Oreos, if you stop buying cheeses, and you start learning how to make them at home, not only are you benefiting your body and perhaps your friends who come over and try it and get inspired and say, hey, I can make Oreos at home. Like, little things like that add to big strides. Like, small steps equal big strides.
Totally.
In our group, we're doing that. And one of the girls, I'm so proud of her. I'm going to highlight her right now. She's lost 70 pounds. No, 75 pounds.
Yeah. Before
I'm
you
so
move on,
proud.
one sec. I do want to say that the government would not have to intervene if we were making more intelligent choices. And I don't want you to be a victim to corporate greed coming into opposition with human health, especially when it comes to our children. And that's where I have to take a stand. That's where you have to take a stand. Take a stand first and foremost in your own household with your own health, and then to your family's health, and into your community's health, and into your school's health, and your city's health, your state's health, your nation's health, because we're hopeful really that it will set a precedent. But honestly, doctors aren't going to tell you this because they just didn't get a lot of nutrition education. Only a few doctors will tell you this. And we asked someone yesterday that is a very knowledgeable woman that you'll see her interview in a couple of weeks. Is there a happy middle ground where you can have some? She said no, and I have the same opinion.
I have the same opinion.
It's like you're either an alcoholic or you're not drinking alcohol.
So what does she mean by that? Sugar and flour are more addictive than sugar specifically is more addictive than cocaine.
And how do they even have grounds to eradicate ultra-processed foods? Because the research on the ingredients in ultra-processed foods like titanium dioxide is undeniably showing that it's carcinogenic, meaning cancer-causing. So that's why we can say without a shadow of a doubt that you're gambling with your health if you're choosing to eat these foods. And we don't want that for you. And I know that if I could have saved Penelope from it, I mean, I would have had to have locked you in the house, which would have been unhealthy in other
Right.
ways. Like how could have I prevented it, honestly?
It's a good question. How could you have prevented it? Well, you probably would have had to take my phone away, and you probably would have had to homeschool me and move to the countryside and had no Wi-Fi. And then I would have literally had no choice but to be outside, like basically being the girl I am today.
It's funny because the Maha Alliance interviewed me and asked me that question, and I said I would have not sent her to school. which is basically then homeschooling, homesteading. Do you know what I mean?
I love it though. I think that's what I'm doing now, and I live the best life ever. I'm so happy.
Wait, you're homesteading? Girl, you got to get in the garden.
Well, I'm trying to, but like at the same time, there are certain factors.
Her out.
Actually, you know what, guys? It's not fair because I'm not home enough because I'm not in the I can't be homesteading yet because I'm not nesting yet. I don't have my own home.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah. So we're waiting on that.
We're working
waiting on
towards
that.
it.
But we're learning. I have my sourdough. We're on week 2 of my sourdough. I'm
I really
proud
want
of
to
it.
plant our spring garden this week. Good job with your sourdough, Penelope.
We're actually going to do a podcast on the farm this week. I'm really excited about it.
Oh my gosh, I'm thrilled. Well, hopefully.
Okay, let's see. Is there anything?
Any questions? We'd love
Yes,
to
there
hear
are
from you
questions.
guys.
So let's
All
read.
right.
So
We're
Amira,
gonna
thank you
answer.
so much for these beautiful questions. So one of them was walking. She thought walking would cause loose skin, but after watching our videos, she realized it's not the case. Does walking help prevent loose skin?
Absolutely, walking can help with your weight loss journey. It helps with mitochondrial health. It helps with your mental health. It helps with your longevity. But you are gonna, if you just walk, it also depends on what environment you're in. You know, if you're walking up mountains, that's different. You're gonna build muscles in your thighs and whatnot. I love to walk with sticks, so you get some detoxification through the twisting motion in your midsection if you're walking dynamically, and you're also working out your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, and your abs, right, and your back. So you're working every muscle if you're doing that Nordic walking, which is different than walking with poles. Right, so I don't know if I'm showing that well enough on
And then she
screen.
said, from your
But
personal
hold on. But if you want to walk and not get loose skin, you absolutely are going to have to do some strength training. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment for that, but you do need to burn out muscle groups to get that skin to get tight. And you also have to, of course, be very cautious about the fats that you're eating, as well as the quality and nutrient density of the calories.
And then she said, from your personal experience, what top tips would you give for loose skin prevention? So preventing loose skin, oil massage, and you don't have to use fancy oils, but you probably don't want to use peanut oil, but you can use like coconut oil, argan oil, jojoba
Almond oil, sesame oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Coconut oil is really easy and inexpensive. I think that's a really great go-to. It's very light though, maybe too light for the winter, but great
Prevent
for the
loose
summer.
skin. No processed foods, no sugar, no flour.
If you really want to reduce your probability of getting loose skin, you absolutely need to take a microscope on the fats that you're eating. And we have an ultimate ultimate skincare guide that talks in detail about all these things. So definitely, excuse me, just put the link below so that you guys can get that for free.
And we already have the link below. It's in the description right now. You can go
great.
click on it. And you guys, if you join our women's group, you guys will get access to the pantry items, the pantry swaps, everything.
Yeah,
Every
and
pantry
the
swap, every food
the
swap.
steps up, because like if you're not getting enough protein, it's not good. If you're not getting the right quality of proteins, like it's really understanding the building blocks of healthy skin. And so you want collagen producing foods like vitamin C, lots of vitamin C producing foods like peppers, red peppers and oranges and lemons, and even almonds, because they have a lot of vitamin E naturally, and
And if
A.
you're like, I don't know how to cook any of those things, I don't even know where I find
Oh my gosh, I have thousands
those.
of
We have
ideas.
so many ideas.
Yes.
So join our group so that you can get all those ideas and all the recipes.
Yes, but preventing loose skin is really going to be about the quality of fats you eat. It's going to be about also the circadian rhythms. Like there's so many past aspects to it, but I love your oil massage idea, Penelope, and also exfoliation.
Strength training, exfoliation.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
dry
components.
brushing.
Read through the skincare guide. Definitely hit us up if you have questions about it, because there's a lot of
We
detail.
have a few videos on loose skin too, so I recommend watching those.
Mm-hmm.
Then she said, did the same methodology apply for both of your weight loss journeys, or did you do slightly different things?
Definitely different things.
Really?
Oh yeah, I would say totally different things. Yeah.
You and I did different things to not have loose skin?
Oh, well, in different ways. Yeah, because I'm primarily a plant-based eater.
Oh.
you take
I'm
a
a Greek
different-
yogurt eater.
Right, and I'm like
So mom's vegan and I'm not.
I'm more vegetarian right now.
But we both prevented our loose skin the same way
The
by
same-
doing the oil massage, strength
Right.
training, walking, stretching.
But I do a lot
yoga.
of different types of exercise than you do.
So we do different. So I'm more of like a cardio, like intense hit, like get it done in an hour and a half.
and I do more. I do like swimming, yoga, stretching.
She likes to work out for a long period of time, like slow and long. And I think that's like just so not fun.
To me, like I can't hit it. Like I said, I think it's also an age thing, because we are different ages, and her body's gonna respond differently than mine.
But we both make our favorite junk foods using whole foods. at home.
That's my favorite junk food.
Well, like pasta you make from better ingredients. You make pizza with better ingredients.
I haven't had pasta or pizza in a really long time, actually.
No, it's not
Pizza I had
pizza
recently.
you had recently.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's totally
I
fine.
had it once this year, I think.
You both have completed your weight loss journeys and you look so pretty. What makes you carry on and spread this message? Oh, these are great questions.
What makes us carry on is that really feel like this is a purpose that is, oh, sorry. I really feel like this is a purpose that is much larger than myself. In fact, I don't know that I could do anything other than what we are doing. So it's really like a mission, like a God mission.
I feel like the weight got put on me so that I could learn from it and lose it naturally and then share the wisdom and character that I've built through it to share with other women, because I never knew that weight loss was such a like gruesome, intense process.
Yeah, it's not just about food and fitness, folks.
And once I learned like how
Gosh.
like crazy and intense it can be, I'm like, wow, like women really need support during this time. They need to not
the
feel
key.
like it's disgusting and gross, because I tried every diet, I tried everything, and it just wasn't good. But this worked.
It's delicious. She said a little while ago, like, Mom, if I knew it was this delicious, like a long time ago, I would have started.
Honestly, Mom, if any woman knew that weight loss could be this delicious, they would be doing it right now. But they don't know because they weren't taught.
Yeah.
And they haven't learned from the right people, because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Well, and the courage to do something differently. But I also want to say that my mom died prematurely. I felt prematurely. Who am I to say? It's really God's thing. But she was 59 when she died, and Penelope never got to know her grandma. And one of her causes of death was severe obesity. And so I definitely take this, because if I couldn't help her, I need to help as many people as I possibly can.
So Amira said, when people talk about cheat days, which includes takeout, burgers, pizza, what do you both think about this? Should we have a cheat day, say once a month, or should we completely cut out all processed foods? Okay, Amira, I started on my journey doing a cheat day once a month. And
No, once a week. It was
once a week, but then it went to once a month,
Yeah.
and then whatever. So that just kind of like set me back. I feel like
Yeah, but no, it was really important because it gave you motivation every week. And it wasn't until it didn't take you very long, but it took you like 4 to 6 weeks before you were like, this isn't worth it. And I feel horrible.
you're right, Mom. I felt horrible after I had a cheat day. So what I started doing instead was I would make my favorite cheat day meals at home. And I'd have a day where I make my favorite cheat day meals at home. And that really helped me. That was like a bridge.
It was a bridge.
And then eventually I just started stepping up those meals at home and kind of incorporating them throughout the week. And then I would just start losing weight at a more rapid rate, because I wasn't
Yeah.
having the cheat days or the detox or the binge eating or the sickness.
Right.
So that really helped me. So I say for you, if you have the ability to cook at home and cook your whole
Yeah.
foods, and you know how to cook and you like to cook and things like that, I would recommend that you make your meals at home that you love to eat out, because you're going to be helping your body feel better faster, and you're going to lose weight faster.
Yeah, and like we have a couple of members who could do cheat days because they're losing a lot of weight, but frankly, they tried and they thought it was disgusting, and they were really bummed out.
Amira said, I've downloaded your loose skin guide and I went through every page highlighting things. I have a shopping list now. Thank you. I could ask you both over 1,000 questions, but I will save them for next time. And I'm also thinking about joining your group.
Oh, Mira, so nice to meet you. So glad you were here today with us.
We would love to have you join our women's group. They're all losing weight. One of them just broke through 200 pounds, which is amazing.
2 others that are really close.
2 others that are really close.
Yeah.
One's down 75 pounds. I'm just so proud of our girls. It's a very like small, intimate group. So we'd love to have you. We have a weekly coaching call on Mondays.
Yep.
And then we're live 7 days a week in the group chat.